The sun is barely up, and the camp is already moving. One person sharpens stone. Another works a hide with smooth bone. Someone twists plant fibers while a child copies the motion nearby. Nobody has a boss. Nobody earns a paycheck. Yet almost everyone is working. So what filled a day before jobs existed? The popular answer says ancient foragers worked about 15 hours weekly. It sounds wonderful. Hunt briefly, eat freely, then relax by the fire. But that famous number leaves something out. The answer changes once we count the work that happened after food arrived. A job combines an employer, wages, hours, and a defined role. That package is recent. Work is much older. Before bosses, deadlines came from weather, hunger, broken tools, and crying children. You could ignore those deadlines. The consequences arrived quickly. Wait, did ancient people work less than us? The honest answer depends on what we count as work. In 2019, researchers tracked time across 8 modern small-scale communities. They recorded more than 45,000 observations from 863 adults. Their count included food production, cooking, repairs, housework, childcare, and learning. Men averaged roughly 45 weekly hours at the less commercial end. Women stayed near 55 hours across the range. Those numbers are not a stopwatch from the Stone Age. They expose the accounting trick behind the easy life story. Count only the hunt, and the work week looks tiny. Count everything keeping camp alive, and the picture changes. Food was the obvious part, so start there. A hunt began long before anyone threw a spear. Tracking, reading weather, choosing routes, and understanding animals took years. In thousands of recorded hunts, average skill peaked around ages 30 to 35. Hunting was not a quick errand, it was a craft. And bringing food home created another round of work. Meat needed cutting, plants needed cleaning, food needed cooking and carrying. Stone edges dulled, wooden handles loosened, firewood vanished into smoke. The hunt ended. The responsibility didn't, but the invisible work is where the story gets more interesting. Most fiber, wood, leather, bags, nets, and clothing simply rotted away. Then one tiny piece of cord survived at a Neanderthal site. It contained 3 strands twisted from inner bark fibers. Someone gathered bark, separated fibers, twisted strands, and joined them carefully. That little cord preserves only millimeters of work. It also reveals an entire world archaeology usually loses. A shaped bone tool tells a similar story. Its wear marks match the repeated work of softening animal hides. Getting an animal was the dramatic moment. Maintenance filled the quieter hours, and this work did not start in adulthood. Children watched adults, copied movements, and practiced with smaller tools. Mixed-age playgroups became classrooms without walls or lesson plans. By late childhood, many could collect easier foods competently. Harder skills, including large-game hunting, could take decades to master. Play slowly turned into contribution. Children also watched one another, which gave adults breathing room. In one Agtia community, children's playgroups reduced mothers' direct childcare. Among Bayaka foragers, mixed-age work groups created chances to learn while helping. Care, education, and useful work could happen during the same hour. So if nobody paid them, what made people take responsibility? Sometimes the answer was brutally simple. The fire would die, food would spoil, a child could wander. Weather and seasons shaped the schedule instead of a clock. Some days demanded hours of effort. Other days left long pauses. There was no single prehistoric work week because there was no single prehistoric life. Responsibility was social too. Skill made someone useful, while generosity and knowledge shaped reputation. Among the AGTA, skilled storytellers were valued social partners. Their stories carried lessons about cooperation and behavior. Storytelling earned no wage, but it could strengthen a camp. So if there were no careers, where did purpose come from? Part of the answer appeared after sunset. Polly Wiesner compared 174 daytime and nighttime Jushi Hoansi conversations. Day talk focused on practical problems and social tensions. Firelit evenings shifted towards stories, singing, dancing, and ceremony. The day moved from survival tasks into shared meaning. Modern jobs still bundle those needs together. A job can provide money, routine, identity, skill, and daily contact. Losing one can remove several supports at once. Unemployment research links poor health with poverty, isolation, and damaged self-esteem. That does not mean humans evolved to need job titles. It means people need resources, competence, choice, and connection. Ancient life could provide those through real contributions to familiar people. You knew who needed the fire, the cord, the food, or the warning. Your effort had a face. This was no paradise. Injury, hunger, weather, and loss could turn responsibility into terror. Ancient people escaped office politics, not pressure or exhausting work. They simply carried those pressures inside a different social world. Tomorrow morning, no alarm will ring. But the fire will cool. A tool edge will blunt. Someone will wake hungry, and a child will need watching. Before jobs existed, people never clocked into work. They woke up already needed.